Joining the update is John Bosco Mayinga, who is a program specialist from UNESCO. And we want to welcome you to the update.
Thank you very much.
Right. It's such a big one. Yeah, you're running what you call the Freedom of Expression and Safety of Journalists section. That title says a lot. Against what background?
It does. I don't run it myself. I'm part of the team that works on those particular issues. But what it speaks to is UNESCO's mandate since its founding 75 plus years ago. We're coming to 80 years this year. And UNESCO was mandated to promote peace through education, science, culture, and communications. Now, communication is the things that we're working on, and freedom of expression and safety of journalists is the mandate of UNESCO within the UN system. And because of the importance of that space, as you can imagine, it's based on the realization that journalists and media institutions that they work in are crucial and part of the components of society, is the functioning of society, that they need to be protected and allowed enough space, for them to do their work. So that is the sort of work that we coordinate at the international level, together with member states, together with different actors, including civil society organizations, to ensure that journalists doing very difficult work, particularly, enable the protections that they need in order to do that work.
Right. Why is it important for Zambia to host this occasion this year?
I think, because I'm not Zambian, but if I were Zambian, I would be very proud of that, because this is going to be the 5th time that the World Press Freedom Day is coming to Africa. And we've held the World Press Freedom Day 35 times.
Oh.
So you can imagine. So, and I give you some of the countries where this event has been held before. It was first held in 1991 in Windhoek, Namibia. And then Namibia also hosted it again in 2021. So we had Ghana in Accra, we had Ethiopia in Addis, and Dakar in Senegal. So what does that speak to? It means that Zambia is one of the few African countries that have hosted this global event. And I can assure you that there's a lot of interest across the globe in hosting that event. And it rotates in different cities around the world every year. And I'll give you an example. So last year, we were in Brussels, Belgium. The year before, we were in Santiago, Chile. The year before that, we were in New York, United States of America. And the year before that, we were in Montevideo, Uruguay, and, going back.
Right.
So you can see that we try to spread it across different continents, across different spaces. I think this is a very big opportunity for Africa and Zambia in particular, to be hosting this event.
Right.
Yeah.
As we close, the space for the journalists to operate, I mean, is an ongoing concern, and in many jurisdictions, newsmakers, stakeholders sometimes fail to recognize the work of the journalists, that this is a conveyor of information based on what is happening. How much understanding do you wish for there to be to make the work of the journalists safe? Because ideally, they're just there to report as events occur.
Yeah, I mean, you raise a very important issue, which also is our concern, which actually shapes the discussions that we construct around global events like the World Press Freedom Day. The event itself, the World Press Freedom Day, was endorsed by the United Nations system in 1993, exactly because of what you mentioned, because of the concerns that were there, that journalists, by nature of doing their work, encounter risks, including death, actually, killings in some of the places. But there are multiple risks that include, imprisonment, attacks. Attacks online, sometimes it's not imprisonment. Sometimes someone sends a nasty message because someone has done the work that they're not happy about. So those are the concerns. But we also recognize that there's a lot of work that needs to be done based on research and evidence that we generate as UNESCO. Last year in November, we published a report, a major report. It's called World Trends on Freedom of Expression and Safety of Journalists, which indicated concerning trends, and I'll give you some of the statistics. One key one was that over the last 10 years, the press freedom had dropped by 10 percentage points, so minus 10. So that's a big drop. 10 is not small. It's a very big drop.
Right.
Globally. And some of the biggest drops had been recorded over the last 5 years. So that means that, probably, the years before it was much better, but it's getting a little worse. And another statistic was that 63% of the journalists indicated that, they have to self-censorship, levels of self-censorship, in order to survive because of the issues that you've talked about. That is quite high. And still, the sharpest part of that percentage is over the last 5 years. And we have also recorded the increase in the number of journalists killed while covering conflicts, meaning that conflicts present very big risk factors.
Right.
So all these are issues that confirm what you are saying, that there's need to speak about how can we create an enabling environment for journalists to do their work, because society cannot do without the media. That one we can agree on.
Right.
Despite the fact that these problems, now we need to discuss and converse. How do we move forward despite those challenges? And this is going to be the theme of the World Press Freedom Day. Well,
I'm afraid we'll have to end it here. Our space has just run out, but I suppose it's participation by journalists in, so that they don't miss. Over 2,000 delegates, I'm told, already. That's a huge number. I hope we can talk to you again, and thank you for coming.
Thanks so much, and we hope that we'll have a successful event come November 4th and 5th here in Lusaka, and we'll be very happy to come back here to do those conversations.
Excellent.